The city is so beautiful at night. But do you ever miss the stars, Matt?
Sometimes, my dear, but since my company provides the lighting for most of the city, I'm afraid I'm partly to blame for their absence. Have you spoken to Mal lately? Does she remember anything from that night at the diner?
We talked quite a bit before she was released from the hospital. But none of us, including the DA, remembers much of anything.
Don't you find that the least bit odd? That none of the survivors can recall anything that happened after you somehow fought off that madman?
You've been in traumatic situations, Matthew. I don't have to tell you what stress can do to the brain.
I know, darling. I don't mean to pry. The doctors have given you a clean bill of health. I'd just feel more at ease if they had found John Countryman's body amongst the wreckage, or if anyone could recall seeing him die.
Handbag. Wallet. Watches and jewelry.
Matt, he's got a gun.
No need for violence, friend. The lady and I are both insured. Here, all my cash.
Hand over the purse and those pearls.
These pearls belong to my mother.
Trust me, Elaina. It will be all right.
I'll shoot you both, I swear.
I believe you. Here's my purse.
Elaina! You didn't have to shoot him. At this distance, I was about to take him myself.
I'm tired of animals running loose in this city, making people live in fear. The brass lantern is giving that fear back to the criminals, and I'm helping. These pearls are all I have left of my mother. Besides, he's still alive.
Yes, and thank God for that. You don't need a murder on your conscience on top of everything else. Wait a minute.
What is it, Matt?
This man. He looks like a vagrant, so I didn't recognize him at first, but he's no street criminal. This is Cashman Fudge, an executive of the Thurston Hawks Insurance Agency.
Why would an insurance exec need to resort to armed robbery?
He has no reason to. He's worth millions. In fact, I heard he'd been promoted to vice president after Countryman's diner massacre.
You can't fight him. He's too strong.
Fudge! What are you saying, man? Can't fight whom?
I can't control. He's making me...
Matt, he's got a knife.
He just slit his own throat.
And someone, somewhere, commanded him to do it.
Get to a phone, Elaina. Call Detective Maldonado.
And what will you do?
I don't know what just happened, but one thing is clear. Cashman Fudge was not a criminal. He was a victim. And victims... Victims deserve justice!
The Brass Lantern. His justice is not blind, it's blinding. A beacon of justice for the poor, the oppressed, and the uninsured. Evildoers don't fear the dark, they fear the light of the Brass Lantern. The adventure, Hell's Gentry. The events and characters depicted in this audio play are fictitious. Any similarity to any actual person, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
What can I get you? Espresso? Cappuccino?
No cappuccino after 12 noon. Rules are what separate men from animals.
Rules are made to be broken, or so they say.
Yes, I suppose they do. Still, a black coffee will do just fine.
Haven't seen you around the weeds. New arrival in town?
Ha! At my age, I'm not sure I'm a new anything. When I was a boy, the weeds were the one part of Beacon to avoid. Not even a taxi would take you out here at night. But now...
Gentrification, friend. Wasn't just cab drivers. Cops never came to the weeds. Most people here were uninsured. No money to pay the rent. Which meant all these old buildings could be had for a song.
You the fella doing the singing?
Name's Heller. Tom Heller. Been pouring coffee since I was 18, only now, with the grindhouse here, I'm finally making money at it.
You worked for free?
No. Indentured servant to Thurston Hawks. working off the insurance payout on some drugs I stole.
The opioid addiction. It's getting out of hand.
Wasn't opioids. Psychedelics. From West Pharmaceuticals. Very similar to what's in your coffee, Mr. Arnold. Or should I say Brass Lantern.
Damn. I remember when secret identities were secret.
You don't seem that worried.
Nothing to worry about. You'll be dead soon. But how did you...
Something wrong, Mr. Arnold? Feeling a little lightheaded?
What? Room! Spinning!
Psychedelics, Mr. Arnold. I told you in your coffee.
So that's your scheme, eh? Buy up the properties in the weeds for cheap, gentrify the neighborhood with your high-end coffee shop, lure the elite of Beacon to your establishment, then dose them with hallucinogens.
My dear friend John Countryman was convinced you were the Brass Lantern. He employed my help in corrupting key officials to go through with the gala and the orphanage despite the bad weather. Always a showman, John Countryman. Unlike myself, I prefer to hide in plain sight.
All you supervillains are the same, with your stupid backstories and your damn self-righteousness. You were forced to work for Thurston Hawks, is that it? Forced to pour coffee in a roadside fueling station. Did they force you to be a thief? Did they force you to be a filthy, crawling leech on the system? No, Mr. Heller! You made that choice yourself!
You really think you're the hero, don't you, Arnold? Always so certain. So sure you're right, and anyone with a differing point of view is wrong. But ask any writer. It's always the villains who are so philosophically pure. Good guys have doubts.
I don't doubt I can kill you before your drug spoils my aim!
Go ahead, Arnold. Shoot me. You're so sure I'm the bad guy? Pull the trigger.
Ah! Matt! Dear God, it's me! It's me!
What? Elaina? Where?
Whoever it was that got control of Fudge got control of you. You have to snap out of it.
Elaina, my God, you're hurt. I shot you.
I'm fine, Matt. In your drugged state, your aim was off. But you need to come back to me.
Where are we? What's that smell? Smoke. Everywhere.
It's Beacon, Matt. You've been gone for over a month. Beacon City is burning.
Mr. Mayor, Chief Logan has been trying to reach you all morning. Every insurance executive has gone missing in these riots. The police need direction.
Whole city's gone mad, Miss Roundtree. Has my special advisor arrived?
In your office, sir.
Very good.
But, sir?
Yes, Miss Roundtree.
Shouldn't you be consulting with the chief? He was made acting police commissioner after...
The police work for the insurance execs, not the city. And the execs that aren't missing have all gone mad, taken to the streets, living like looters and thieves. No, I need my number one man for this.
But, sir, you only just met him.
Nonsense. Have you gone mad, too? Tom Heller and I go way back. I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for his sage counsel. 2 years ago, he won me the election in a landslide.
2 years ago, he was paying off his insurance debts working at a filling station.
That's enough, Miss Roundtree. You best take the rest of the day off.
Yes, Miss Roundtree. Best that you get home to your apartment and lock the door. It's not safe out there. I'm recommending martial law until these riots are contained.
Fine idea, Tom. But just how will we enforce it? The city has no police of its own. We've relied on the corporations for so long.
Don't you remember, Mr. Mayor? You have a private army at your disposal. My army.
Yes, but wait. Didn't those men all fight for John Countryman? And weren't they locked up in Beacon Prison or sent to the mills to pay off their debt?
You're confused, my friend. These men are loyal city workers who have volunteered to help. Here, have a shot of espresso. Caffeine clears the mind. You could use some yourself, Miss Roundtree.
I don't use caffeine. Mr. Mayor, please. This is insane.
Miss Roundtree, you're dismissed. Go home. Stay off the streets. Tom's right, you know. As of this moment, Beacon City is under martial law. Any man, woman, or child on the streets will be arrested and interred.
Matt, what happened to you? Where have you been?
My head feels like it's splitting open. He's still trying to control me. Your voice. Somehow you reached me.
Stay with me. The city can't lose you again.
Trying, my dear. Whatever drug that bastard's used.
Who, Matt? Who is behind this?
No time for talk, darling. I'm not the only one under the influence.
Those men. And women. They look...
insane. I'm afraid their higher brain functions are being repressed. All that's left is primal, savage. No, Elaina, you mustn't shoot. I recognize these people. All of them Beacon's elite. All of them recent residents of the Weeds. And all of them to the man, under control of the darkest mind of all. Come, darling, we must run for it.
I hate feeling so powerless.
The Luxon building is 1 block east. If we can make it, there's a lantern lair on the top floor. I seem to have lost my mask. If we can get to a spare, the blinding light might give us a chance to evade these hordes without harming them.
These zombies are armed!
Hard to hit a moving target even with a clear head. In their drug state, they won't hit us.
That was a grenade!
Damn it! I see the Luxon. There's a mob outside. No way to get through.
Then we have no choice. We'll blast our way through. If I'm going to die out here, I'm going to die fighting.
My head. I feel my control slipping. He set me free, so I would kill you. No doubt a part of his twisted justice.
You listen to me, Matt Arnold. You're the strongest man I have ever known. No drug is going to break your willpower. Stay with me. Fight with me.
Not the man you think I am. Ah!
Matt, look!
Police gyrodyne with a rope ladder. Come, Elaina. We must grab on.
I've got the rope, Matt. Just hold on. We're getting out of here. And then you're going to tell me what's going on and how we can stop it.
Meanwhile, in a parking garage beneath the Beacon Insurance District...
The boss just radioed. Brinkerhoff's declared martial law. We just need one insurance exec to order all the police to the Thurston Hawks building above us. You know, to contain the mob of former bigwigs headed this way.
My heart doesn't bleed for the insurance guys. I spent more than half my life as their slave for one dumb move I made as a kid. But some of the cops? I don't know. I don't think they're all bad.
Cops gotta go, Fallon. You know the plan. It's genius. Boss can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. Now come on, time to get everything into position. I can't wait for the main event.
Whoever's flying is setting us down on the roof of Luxarn.
Guess it's a good thing you taught me how to fly one of these things, Matthew.
Mal! Thank God! Matt's not well. He's been drugged.
Bastard sent me to kill Elaina, and part of me is still being compelled to. It's too dangerous for you to be near me right now.
You said it yourself. I'm the only thing keeping you together. Whoever it is that's controlling you, we can fight them.
The mayor just declared martial law. All police units have been called to the insurance district. The mobs are all converging there, like rats following the Pied Piper.
Not a bad analogy, Mal. But those aren't rats. They're insurance execs, policymakers, government liaisons, public relations specialists.
They've been tearing up Beacon for weeks. You're saying that whatever is affecting them is affecting you as well?
It all started with Cashman Fudge, a wealthy insurance exec turned common mugger who took his own life against his will after Elaina thwarted his robbery attempt. It was no random chance that Fudge appeared in that alleyway that night. Had I killed him, even in self-defense, it would have been a front-page scandal. Gunning down a high-ranking employee of the largest insurance company in the state, killing a man who had no reason to rob me. It would have been my word and Elena's against a dead man's reputation. Or so I thought. But the Brass Lantern discovered a far more sinister plot.
No one's seen the Brass Lantern in weeks. I'm starting to think John Countryman was right. That maybe he can be killed. And that maybe...
No, the Brass Lantern lives. He rescued me. Stopped me from killing Elaina. I put him on the case after Fudge's suicide. The Battery Boys led him into the weeds. Cashman Fudge, you see, had recently moved into a renovated townhouse above a certain coffee shop.
Battery Boys? So it's true? The Brass Lantern uses orphans as his spies?
Orphans industrious enough to survive on their own, Mal. The Brass Lantern ensures their needs are met. And without them, he never would have learned about the Grindhouse or its sinister proprietor, Tom Heller.
So this Heller is behind everything?
He lured the powerful elite of Beacon into his gentrified neighborhood, drugged their high-end coffees with hallucinogens, and subjected them to mind control. I thought I was shooting at him when, in fact, Elaina, I was shooting at you.
But you barely grazed me. Just a scratch.
Yes, one good thing, I suppose. The drug affects fine motor skills.
Well, this Heller has armed his mob with bombs as well as bullets. You don't really need to aim a grenade.
All police are being routed to the insurance district, you say?
I was on my way there when I saw you two get nearly blown up by that mob.
What is it, Matt? You've got that look in your eye.
Mal, you must keep the police out of the insurance district. I've known Mayor Brinkerhoff since he was a city councilman. If he's declared martial law and seized control of the police from the private sector, I believe he's done so under Heller's influence.
You don't think...
The incident at the diner was just the beginning. Heller was working with countrymen. They took out the commissioner and several insurance execs. They were trying to cut off the city's head. And now...
Now they'll kill the body, the police, the crime insurers.
It's a crazy plot. Assassinate every law officer in one apocalyptic act. They're going to burn the insurance district to the ground, and every cop and insurance agent with it.
But what can I do? What can any of us do?
Elaina reached me somehow. That means Heller's control is not absolute. The police are just following orders. Take to the sky, Mal. Use the Gyrodyne's radio. Tell all the police the mayor has been compromised.
I'm not sure they'll believe me, but I'll do my best. Are you two okay staying here?
We'll be fine, Mal. Go! Hundreds of lives are at stake. At this time of day, maybe thousands.
Just do me one favor. Stay alive, both of you.
We survived John Countryman's madness. We'll survive this twisted barista.
Wish me luck.
You've got guts, and guts trump luck.
Now that we're alone, what's the real plan?
I still don't trust myself. Tom Heller's influence is constantly in my head, like a subliminal signal just beneath my conscious mind. But if the sound of your voice shocked my system somehow, let me regain control, then perhaps the blinding light of my lantern mask can awaken the mobs from their living nightmare.
Count me in.
Darling, I can't do what I must if I'm worried about you. Stay here, please. You'll be safe in the lair.
No way in hell. That bastard took you from me. I spent weeks not knowing if you were alive or dead. And when I finally found you again, you tried to murder me. Tom Heller is going to pay, and I want to be there when you put him down.
All right, my love. To save the city this time, one brass lantern may not be enough.
Our justice isn't blind.
No, let's hope our love isn't either.
And now, the thrilling conclusion to Hell's Gentry.
Look at that, Mr. Mayor. So quiet. It's like the city is just holding its breath in anticipation of what's coming.
You sure about this, Heller? I'm still a little uneasy about using this private police force of yours.
Your concerns are understandable. But you've been using private police for years, except now they don't work for Thurston Hawks. Now they work for me. And soon, mine will be the only police left in Beacon.
Strange that the governor didn't want to get involved. Could have used the National Guard.
The governor has been my friend for almost as long as you have, Mayor Brinkerhoff, and he likes his coffee from a French press, 8 seconds off the boil. But don't worry, your National Guard will arrive soon enough once I'm ready for them. Time to get off the street now. The angry horde is going to converge downtown. There they will clash with the police, and the casualties will be high.
Your corpse will be among them, Heller!
Your aim is off, Lantern. I don't need to see you. I'm inside your mind.
You're not in mine, you bastard. You can't see me coming.
Ugh, 2 of you!
Heller, that light, my eyes, what's going on? Where am I?
Your drugs are wearing off, Heller. My next bullet won't miss.
You really don't get it, Arnold. Yes, I drugged the coffee. Simple hallucinogens. They just make what I do easier.
What? My gun! Turning it on myself!
It started when I was a teenager. The headaches, nosebleeds. Doctors couldn't help me. Psychedelic drugs were the only thing that eased the burning in my brain. But they're heavily regulated, and I had no money. So when I stole some to save what was left of my sanity, I became the property of Thurston Hawks. Until I realized what those headaches meant I could do. Ugh!
I'll send that burning brain of yours out the back of your skull, Tom Heller. Pray to the demon of whatever pit you're going to land in.
I can't read you, but I promise you, kill me and Arnold will be worse than dead. My last act will be to crush his mind completely.
If you had that power, you'd have done it already.
Oh, I have that power, though it would deplete me, probably kill me. But if I were dying anyway, I'll flip its lights off on the way out.
No! Mal! All those people!
Heller! He's gone.
That you, Arnold? Someone please tell me what's going on. I can't see a thing. Someone setting off fireworks?
Thousands of people. All dead.
We saved as many as we could. The masks worked. We just couldn't get to everyone. And we couldn't pass up the chance to nail Heller once and for all. Mal was in the air, Matt. She might have made it.
Maybe, Elaina. But a world without police, without law and order, survival may very well be a curse.
Spare change, friend, for a blind man falling on hard times?
If it's change you're looking for, John Countryman, I can give it to you.
Is that my name? Do I know you, sir? I remember so little after the accident that stole my sight.
You knew me once, and you will again. Here, have some coffee from my thermos. You look like you could use the lift.
The The Brass Lantern was created and written by A.G. Devitt, directed and produced by Matt Powers and Lift Theater. Sound direction by Matt Powers. Cover art by Mikey Wood. And music by Oscar Stavala. Our cast: A.G. Devitt as Matthew Arnold and Fallon. Laura Powers as Elaina Dare. Andrew Urbanic as Tom Heller. Matt Powers as Cashman Fudge and Jerry. Alex Stolzer as Detective Maldonado. Blake Pitcher as Mayor Brinkerhoff. Virginia Clapp as the Secretary. And C.T. Avis as John Countryman and your narrator. The Brass Lantern extends special thanks to Jane Mullen, the Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts. This project is made possible with funds from the Decentralized Program, a re-grant program of the New York State Council on the Arts, with support from Governor Andrew Cuomo and the New York State Legislature, and administered by CNY Arts. The Brass Lantern will return in Episode 3, Satan's Samaritan.